In using the term forecast error, we are referring to the difference between what actually occurred, which is actual demand, and what was forecast. Some common terms used to describe this degree of error, forecast error, and mean squared error, which is called MSE, or mean absolute deviation, which is called MAD. In this chapter, we will focus on MAD. Mean absolute deviation, which is called MAD, is commonly used because it is very simple. MAD is the average error in the forecast using absolute values. It is valuable because MAD measures the dispersion of some observed value from some expected value. MAD is computed using the difference between the actual demand and the forecasted demand without regard to sign. It equals the sum of the absolute deviations divided by the number of data points. Let me take an example. We have in this example 6 months data. This is a demand forecast. This is actual demands that occurred. I will show you this whole process to find out final MAD answer. But in the later time, you don't have to follow this whole process. First of all, in this deviation law, you have to find out difference between your forecasted demand minus your actual demand. And as you can imagine, this deviation can be both positive and negative. This positive means your forecasted demand is greater than actual demand. Negative means your forecast value is less than actual demand. Now you are taking this sign off by adding absolute value, ABS. And then copy it, paste. Then all the absolute deviation, this deviation become positive. We are only focus on the how much difference. Deviation. Now we are summing up this absolute deviation. Equal sign. From the second law, we are adding up. This is previous absolute deviation and current absolute deviation. Then you copy and paste. And the final is accumulated. This is final value of absolute deviation. Now we try to find the mean absolute deviation for each law. So 50 divided by month 1. Then we are clicking and copy the formula. Then you will see the next law shows the sum of absolute deviation up to month 2 divided by month 2. All the way to month 6. Sum of absolute deviation up to month 6 divided by month 6. Then you see this is the absolute deviation, mean absolute deviation. And this final value is the answer that we are looking for. Instead of going through this process, however, you can shortcut. If you know your absolute deviation, then you are simply finding out the average value of this absolute deviation. And it's supposed to be the same as your mean absolute deviation. I try to increase the decimal places. You see? So instead of going through this process, here If you know your forecasted demands, your actual demands, then you can simply directly go to your absolute deviation, meaning difference between forecast value and actual demands, and you can average value of all the absolute deviation. That will be your mean absolute deviation. That's it. Thank you.